Hello, everyone. Students, we're missing you at the moment. Everything is so different right now. I'm here in this recording studio at school, just me and a camera, and this is our way to connect for the next little while. And so I wanted to let you know that we're praying for you, we're praying for your families, and we hope that you're being safe, that you're looking out for each other as well. And we're just going to share a few messages. Each week, we're going to share some messages with you to encourage you, inspire you, and give you hope. You know, we're living in unprecedented times right now. And, there's bad news with COVID-19. It's literally pouring in from everywhere. You open up your phone, and as you're scrolling, it's there. As you're on the internet, or you're searching social media, or whatever it happens to be, there's bad news from people losing jobs to people catching the virus, from people struggling to make ends meet as they're lining up at Centrelink and wondering where the next paycheck's going to come from. And there's so many changes that are going on for us right now. There's new social rules that we need to abide by to keep our families safe and keep each other safe. And so everything is changing so rapidly, and it's really hard to keep up with in many ways. And I was listening to one of my favorite communicators. His name's Pastor Craig Rochelle, and he said this, and it just really challenged me. And he said, the only thing that is spreading faster than COVID-19 is fear. The only thing that's spreading faster than COVID-19 is fear. This fear is so all around us, and it's so contagious. What are you spreading? I mean, because we are all contagious. And what is it that you're spreading? Are you spreading fear, or are you spreading faith? Fear is warranted in this circumstance, and it's perfectly natural to experience it and feel it. And we need to have a really healthy respect for what this virus is doing, and in many senses, safeguard ourselves and our communities against it. We need to be careful with this. This is real. This is a real crisis, a real danger to our community. But at the same time, how can we balance and walk this tension between this healthy respect and these appropriate boundaries, yet not letting fear completely overwhelm us, yet not letting fear completely just paralyze us? And how do we operate when we've got so much fear just coming at us each and every way, and we're experiencing it for ourselves? For some of you as students, perhaps some of you, year 12s and 11s, are worried about the HSC. What does all this mean? Are you fearing and worrying about what this might look like? For others of you, just your general schoolwork and how to keep up. For others of you, it's the actual fear of being disconnected from friends. As a community, we love to be together. And it's the fear of being alone. What sort of fear are you experiencing at the moment? For some of you, your parents are potentially fearing about their jobs and what sort of income that your family has. And so the fear is all around us. And it really wreaks havoc in our lives in many ways. And, a few years ago, I want to share with you a story. A few years ago, a friend came to me, and he was really down, he was upset, and he was in tears. He just lost his job. He was really worried about what am I going to do? I've just lost my job, I've got kids, I've got a family. How can I provide for them? And as we were wrestling with this together and we were praying together, he was a solid Christian, someone that really trusted God. Yet this time of turmoil and crisis, he was upset, and it was such a difficult time. And you could see the fear of the unknown, fear of what was coming next, was really causing great concern for him. And we chatted and we prayed, and we finished up sort of really good. And the following day, he came up to me, and I could just tell straight from the look on his face, it was evident that he'd actually spent some time processing this, but he spent time in prayer that morning. And it was really evident. And he came to me and he said, Marty, I've been thinking, and I was praying to God this morning. This is what I realized. He said, I realized I either believe in the promises of God or I don't. He's like, I'm either a Christian or I'm not. I either trust in God's plans for my life or I don't. I either have faith that God's got this, even through the trial and this mess and suffering. I either trust that God's got a plan in this somehow, or I don't. I either trust him, I'm either going to walk with him and trust his plans, or I'm going to trust my own plans. And at that time, he was processing, what did his faith mean in light of a crisis? What did it really look like? And in this moment, he's choosing faith over fear. He's choosing faith over fear. Fear wasn't going to overcome him. Fear wasn't going to become his resolve. No, he'd chosen faith over fear. 1 Peter 5:7 says that we can cast all our cares, our anxieties, our worries, we can cast that upon Christ because he cares for us. You know, what a beautiful thing that we can cast our cares on the creator of the universe, someone who's got far bigger shoulders than what we carry. And he can take it, and he can help us understand the situation that we're in, and he can give us new perspective and a whole lot of peace. You know, there's a story in the Bible where Caleb and 12 spies were sent into the promised land. God's people had been waiting to inherit and overtake this promised land that had been waiting so long for them. And they get to the edges of the borders and they had to go and check it out to see what it was all like. And they sent 12 spies in to investigate it. These spies came back and they had a report and they had fresh produce and they'd scaled out the city and they gave a report to the leaders of God's people about what it was like in this promised land, this land of Canaan. And in that time, some of them began to reflect the fears of what it was going to be like to overtake these fortified cities. They were saying, we're like grasshoppers compared to them. We've got nothing. They're bigger than us. They're stronger than us. And they started to speak fear into the leaders of the nations. There was a man named Caleb that was part of that group. And Caleb just said, quite plainly, let's go and occupy that land. Let's go and occupy the land. God has promised that this land will be ours. God has promised that he will be with us. Caleb was someone that believed. You know, names really mean something in the Bible. And the name Caleb means faithful. Caleb means faithful. I named my own son after this. Caleb, faithful. And, you know, faithful, he's trusting in God, even when in the face of what was ahead looked uncertain. He was choosing to speak faith over fear. You see, the other leaders around, they spread this fear so much amongst all of God's people that all of the people actually started to doubt, they started to fear, and they started to complain. And they actually went up to Moses and they said to Moses, Moses, we're over this. Like, we're doomed. We're going to get destroyed. And Moses, the Bible says that Moses was getting complaints day and night from the people who doubted and feared. And this story can be found in Numbers 13 and 14. And it just reminds us that we're all contagious. Is what you have worth sharing? Is what you have worth spreading? I mean, we're all contagious. These guys spread fear and lies and doubt of God's promises. Or could we be like Caleb and trust in God's promises, encourage others, and speak forth in faith? So are you sharing faith? Are you sharing hope? Are you sharing love at this time? This crazy world that we're currently living in? Young people, are you connecting with your friends? Are you encouraging them? Are you touching base with them and just making sure your mate's not too lonely at the moment? These are really important things. And we can either spread fear or we can spread encouragement and light in a dark situation. Are you spreading hysteria or are you spreading responsibility? Are you spreading criticism of our leaders or are you praying for your leaders? Are you spreading complacency just by the way that you're responding to this? Or are you waking up spiritually like the world around you is waking up spiritually? To how God is moving through this crisis. Are you the only one sharing the news, or are you sharing the good news about Christ, what he's done for our lives, and that we can trust him despite what might seem crazy around us, that he has a plan and a purpose beyond this pain and suffering. He's got eternity there waiting for us. And you know, storms may come, but my hope is sure. What are you spreading today? Fear or faith? I trust that you look out for the people around you, reach out to them, stay connected no matter what. And young people, we're going to go on this journey together. Fear or faith is what you have worth spreading. I want to encourage you to subscribe to the link if you're watching this on the YouTube channel. Tweed Valley Adventist College has a YouTube channel. Please subscribe to the link. That way you'll get the updates. Every week we're going to produce a video to share with you to encourage you in this time of crisis. I pray you'll be safe and God bless.